Hi everyone, welcome back to another edition of my videos, and today I've got a very special treat for you. So, you know how I sometimes say on this channel, I think I found the hardest checkmate in 2? Well, this might actually be the hardest checkmate in 2. Without a doubt, this is incredibly difficult, this particular one. So, just to kind of explain the rules of this one, it's white to move checkmate in 2 against any defence. So no finding checkmates in 3s because there's a lot of them, or finding checkmate in 4s. You've got to find checkmate in 2. So see if you can solve it. White to play. As always guys, if you do want to skip straight to the solution, I do have a timestamp there if you want to skip ahead. But let's talk about this particular puzzle. So this one was produced by a player known as, it comes under the name of U Tane from 1918. Don't know anything about this composer. I don't think he composed anything else. I'm sure he went into absolute insanity after composing this particular puzzle, because to even wrap my head around some of the stuff in this puzzle it's just unbelievable. It's just an unbelievably crazy puzzle. So there's lots going on here. There's lots of chances to pawn promote. There's lots of chances to do under promotion. In fact, you know, these knights here, they're sort of like tempting you to do a knight promotion. They're like going, yeah, why don't you just do under promotion into a knight? And you know, it's just crazy. There's all these different promoting moves. There's just so much going on here. Black has got lots of moves as well. So you need to come up with something incredibly special to solve this particular one. But with these sort of things, when you've got so much going on, eventually it will just get to a point where you just go, okay, I've just got to brute force my way through this puzzle to try and find the best moves. So let's go through every single one of White's pieces and determine whether or not they will be able to deliver a checkmate in 2. So we can discount the bishop straight away. None of these bishop moves really do anything. If we move our bishop to even b3 or anywhere along this diagonal, a very simple continuation to stop the checkmate in 2 is this rook takes on a7. Now that comes with a check because this bishop is no longer defending in front of the king. So this is just straight off, we can discount the bishop. Let's ignore him on the first move. Okay. What about this rook? So you might be tempted with this rook to maybe have a look at some of these checking ideas. So let's say just rook to a6 with check. It seems that, you know, if let's say the king came to e7, let's say this would be a really easy, I say easy checkmate, it was not going to be easy, but you can get a nice, very nice checkmate with f takes on e8, promoting to a queen. This is checkmate because of the double check amongst these two pieces and this rook controlling this file. But the problem with this particular one is, again, black can just sacrifice his rook. He can just jump in the way, and it doesn't really matter what white does. But there is a very nice checkmate in 2 idea though, which is really, really cute. You can first promote this one to a knight, and that's check. Only move that what black can do is capture with the rook. He can't move his king anywhere because all of these squares are covered by your various pieces. So he has to take with the rook, and once he does that, you can take here with a knight under promotion. It's really lovely. I'm sure a lot of you might have found this one, but it's checkmate in 3, unfortunately, so it just doesn't work. Now we come to probably the the hardest of all the solutions, and that's to have a look at all of these different promotions. So let's first have a look at this pawn. Let's just say we promote to a queen on this square. I guess a simple way to stop this from being a checkmate in 2 is there's kind of a few ways that we can stop it, but let's just say we take this rook on a7. There isn't really any way that white can deliver a checkmate in 2 here. I mean, even if he, I don't know, promotes this other one to a queen, this queen can always capture. And okay, this will be checkmate with the queen, but it's just nothing else. There isn't really anything else you can do here. So we can discount that one. The knight one's not going to do anything either. It doesn't come with a check, and the knight's not going to really be doing a whole lot in the position. So what about if we push it this way and promote it to a queen this way? Well, against this, black can take here with the rook, and okay, there's not really a whole lot more we can do here. There isn't any checkmating ideas, so again we can discount this one. So I think, to be honest with you, probably the most forcing move here has got to be one of these captures with the promotion. So let's try capturing this way with a knight promotion. Now with this looks really good. The problem with it is after rook captures, whatever we do here with our pawn, it's not going to be checkmate. If we promote it now to a knight, this is a very nice knight, but the rook captures back. There's no checkmate. Again, we fall into the checkmate in 3. This is very nice, but there's no checkmate in 2 with that pawn promotion, so that is a failed solution as well. Same if we do it with this pawn, just nothing really happens after this. We can promote it this way, but again, these rooks just come into the nick of time to start sacrificing themselves. Same on this side. Even if we knight promote this way, both of these pieces are just going to pile in to stop the checkmates. So this doesn't work, and neither does this either, even if we promote it to a queen. But let's promote it to a knight, because I think that's a more gorgeous solution. Again, we just take, and okay, we can maybe do something a bit different here. Let's say we play the move queen to d4 with check, but by moving this queen away from here, we now relinquish this square for the king to run to. So the king can go to c7, after which, this is a nice checkmate. It's a checkmate in 3 though, with the promotion, but again, it's not a checkmate in 2. So all of those pawn moves don't work. What about some of the other pieces that we've got here? One of the solutions that I tried to have a look at, but it doesn't really work, is what happens if you, let's say you move this rook away, or do some quite quiet move, like maybe fritting in this or something. I guess always the problem with this is if we try and do any sort of quiet move like this, one of the things that I notice is the king just kind of runs away over here, and there isn't actually any checkmate in 2. So we've got to try and find something that works here. So we're now down to pretty much our last 2 pieces. These pawns, they're not going to do a whole lot in trying to solve the position. So, okay, the only one that I can maybe talk about is this pawn, which we'll talk about in a minute when we discuss the queen. So the queen is going to be one of the pieces that is going to be very important to potentially solving this solution, because it controls a lot of squares. It's going to be hopefully maybe doing quite a few checks. One of the things that I looked at was, is this a move, because we're checking the king. The problem with this is after the king comes to e5, there is no longer a checkmate in 2. The king has just got too many squares that he can run to, and we cannot control all of them simultaneously. In actual fact, my computer here is now saying checkmate in 4. So this would be great for a checkmate in 5 puzzle, but unfortunately we have got to find checkmate in 2. So it doesn't work there. What else could we try and do with the queen? One of the other moves that I looked at that was interesting is what happens after queen to c7. And one of the things that I looked at was, okay, if let's say the king takes here, have we not got some sort of checkmating idea here? The problem with this is the king can now capture. And okay, there's again a really beautiful checkmate in 3 here, but it's not checkmate in 2. So the king just seems to just get out. What else can we do? I mean, one of the other ones that I looked at was, can we not just throw a check with d4? Again, there's two ways that black can go. One of them does lead to a checkmate in 2, but the other one leads to a checkmate in 3, unfortunately. So when we go to the king to c7, we can actually deliver checkmate in 2 here with b takes, promoting to either the rook or a queen. Let's promote to a rook because that looks a lot more more interesting. And with this move, this is checkmate. Notice that there's a double check coming from both of the rooks through the promotion. It's not something you see very often, I have to be honest with you. But the problem is king to e8 can happen, and it doesn't matter what we do. If we, let's say, promote, I don't know, let's put a pawn with promotion with the queen, this looks really good. We've got a double check. How can he possibly get out of this? But the problem is this knight here is blocking the queen from accessing the square. So the king can run to f8, just miraculously surviving this position. And okay, after knight to f3, which is checkmate in 3, again, really beautiful mate, it's not checkmate in 2. The same applies if, let's say, we go to here, or let's say we promote to, well, let's promote to a queen first. We can easily just come to f6, or even just jumping away with our knight with g7, and actually this is still mate in 3, but it just doesn't work. But the other one that I think was really interesting is if, let's say, we come here with the knight, this looks so good, we're now defending this square. Oh, but the king can come to f8 now. So you can see the frustration on my face as I tried to solve this particular puzzle. You know, I was trying to brute force, looking at all of these pawn promotions, these queen checks. Nothing seemed to work except one move and one piece that we haven't discussed yet, and that's this knight. Now, the solution to this particular puzzle is knight to c4 check. So counterintuitive, because we're blocking our powerful bishop, and black has got 6 different squares that he can go to. So it doesn't make any sense, this move, and that's probably why, you know, this guy never produced another puzzle. He just probably went mad with insanity after publishing this puzzle. But let's go over each of the different solutions. So we'll start as if we're doing the clock, and then work our way clockwise. So if, let's say, king to d7, here we've got a very nice checkmate. We promote to a knight, double check, both pieces attacking simultaneously. He cannot block because both are attacking, and there's nowhere he can go to. He can't go to this square because of the rook, so he can't go to any of these squares. Well, he's already on that square. He can't go to here because of this pawn, so this pawn saves the day. He can't come to d6 because of this knight, and on here this knight is covering this square. So a very, very nice checkmate there. Okay, what about coming to e7? Similar things will happen. We'll do a promotion. We've got 2 ways of winning this in promotion. We can promote to a queen. And now, what is interesting about this, you saw in one of the previous failed solutions that this knight was on this square, which was blocking the queen, but now it no longer blocks it. So this is now a completed solution because the queen is covering here on f6. Once again, it's double check. You can't just block it with a piece because the other piece is still checking. So this would be a completed solution. Very nice. You can also promote here to a rook as well, which is really good. Okay, what else could black do? He could come to e6, and here f takes on g8 is fine. This will deliver a checkmate. We've got kind of this weird sort of Bodeny Arabian style mate. The point of this being this queen controls these squares, the knight controls these squares, this pawn controls this square, this queen controls this square, and the rook obviously does along here. You can also, I believe, promote to a bishop as well. So again, if you just want to be extra flash in your solution, by all means promote to a bishop. Okay, so the king can't come to this square because the knight's already there. So what about d5? Against d5, a nice straightforward checkmate here. Probably the one that you'll probably think is a nice straightforward is just queen to e5 checkmate. It's just nice. The nice kiss of death. Yeah, there's nothing much more to it really. You know, the queen is attacking everywhere, is all covered. Thank you to this pawn as well. He just saves the day. So this is the key to really good solutions. You've always got these like weird, you know, every piece makes a difference here. Okay, So we've already discussed this one. What about king to c5? Now, it's interesting because this queen move doesn't work anymore because the king can just run to b4. So we've got to find something different. And this move would probably surprise you as a checkmate in one. Rook to h5. Notice the queen is defending these two squares. The knight is defending these two squares. Again, this pawn, he just comes into a life of his own, helping in the solution, and the rook obviously checkmating along there. I think we have covered nearly every single square now. The last square is just king to c7. We can win this in two different ways again. We've got this lovely double check idea with the queen. Again, this knight is controlling these key squares, and you know, you can't take any of these because it's double check. So he has to react to this in some way, which is just, yeah, really, really nice. We didn't have that when the king was on d6. You know, we didn't have these double check ideas, but as soon as the king has moved away, we were able then to complete the solution. What a roller coaster. Well, I didn't solve this one. I doubt you will solve this one. But if you did, let me know in the comments below. If you like what you see, make sure you leave a like at the end of this video. Subscribe to the channel for more incredibly difficult puzzles, checkmating solutions. I do like posting a lot of these, so if you have any sort of feedback on any more puzzles that you want to show or anything just around this channel in general, I appreciate it all. But thank you so much. Thank you for sticking to the end, and I'll see you soon. Take care.